Do dumpers move on faster? That's what we're going to be talking about today. But first, my name is Clay with ModernLove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by hitting that thumbs up button and by subscribing to this channel if you're new here. Okay, so let's get into this whole topic about dumpers and dumpees, who moves on faster. Now, obviously, the dumper has probably had time to think about this breakup for a while. If you're on the receiving end of the breakup, maybe you could tell that there were relationship problems brewing, but you didn't actually initiate it. So many times, the person who initiates the breakup, the dumper, if you want to use the technical term, they have a little bit more anticipation that this is coming. They know this is coming, they initiate it, and so they can kind of make moves after the breakup a little bit sooner because it's not so much of a shock for them. If you are on the receiving end, yeah, maybe you could see some trouble brewing, or maybe this was a total blindside breakup where it just kind of hit you out of nowhere. But, you were kind of caught off guard, probably a little bit at least. And so it's going to be a little bit harder for you to move on. Now, we also want to look at what it actually means to move on. A lot of people toss this term around really generically. Is moving on just a matter of being in a relationship with someone else? Some people think so. But there are a lot of people who I have seen over the years who have ended up in rebound relationships or emotionally unavailable situations or things like that. And these people have clearly not moved on. They're clearly not emotionally over their breakup. It doesn't matter if they were the dumper or the dumpee or, if they initiated it or were on the receiving end of it. If they have not healthily dealt with the emotions from the breakup, then they haven't really moved on. They're just kind of trying to, paper it over with a new relationship or some sort of external thing. The truth is that if it's a rebound relationship, then it's not truly moving on. It's just trying to mask the pain or mask the emotions that that person is experiencing with something new, some sort of fluffy kind of thing. Okay, so again, what are some signs that this is like a rebound relationship? Number one, biggest one is displacement. That's where the new relationship sort of moves really fast to match the level of commitment that you had with your ex. Like maybe the two of you were talking about getting married and suddenly they're like super committed to this other person, and within a matter of weeks or months, talking about getting married. That's actually what happened to me and my ex after we eventually broke up for good, because, we noticed that we just wanted different things in life. We had different values and all of that. She actually ended up in a rebound relationship, and they got engaged 2 weeks later. Intense, crazy, I know, but I mean, really, that's the kind of thing that's supposed to happen on movies or TVs or TV shows or something, but that happened to me. Yeah, so anyway, that's a story for another day. Clearly a rebound relationship, and it had some problems. Let's just say that. I heard from some mutual friends that they had some difficulties, as you could probably imagine when you get engaged to somebody after knowing them for 2 weeks. But anyway, dumpers can move on because they anticipate the breakup happening sooner. And they're also able to withdraw emotionally from the breakup sooner than people who are caught off guard by it. But if you are able and willing to handle the breakup in a healthy sort of way, if you're able to handle your emotions in a healthy sort of way, then you're actually able to move on a whole lot more healthfully and a whole lot better. And again, moving on isn't just about dating other people or being over or being over your ex and putting up a dating profile or anything like that. Moving on is about being emotionally okay with what happened, not being in damage control mode, not going through the amazing, wonderful, awful, terrible emotional roller coaster that both dumpers and dumpees go through after a breakup. Moving on is about being emotionally okay with what happened and being able to create a compelling new future for yourself despite what happened. It's not a reaction to the past. It's not an echo to the past. It's not being bitter or cynical about your ex. It's not anything like that. It's about being okay with what happened and being able to create something new. And you can do that fast if you're a dumper or if you're a dumpee, as long as you're able to put your attention on it. The problem is that so many people distract themselves with rebound relationships, with, doing all sorts of things that don't matter, like working out at the gym all the time. Although I guess these days, a lot of gyms are, closing down because of the whole, virus thing. But, they're doing all sorts of things in order to distract themselves. And as long as you're distracting yourself from reality, from your emotions aren't just going to heal on their own. There's this saying that time heals all wounds, and time can help, sure. But if you're just hoping that the mere passage of time is going to heal your wounds, heal all wounds, then you're going to be in for a rough ride, because time by itself is not going to heal, especially when you're not actually addressing and paying attention to those wounds and you're just kind of looking the other way. It's like if you were to break your arm. Yes, time will heal your arm, right? But you have to actually do things to actually heal that broken bone. You have to actually do things to allow that to heal. You can't just ignore the fact that you have a broken arm and just go live life as normal and expect that time is going to mend that bone. The same happens when it comes to, your broken heart, when it comes to your emotions after a breakup. You have to put your attention on that in order to actively heal and in order to actively be able to move on from the past. So, first of all, I've mentioned several things. So you might want to check out our series on rebound relationships up there. If you want to learn more about rebound relationships, if you think that your ex is in a rebound relationship because they have, air quotes here, moved on, because they are actually dating someone else or something like that. Maybe they have moved on. Maybe it's just a rebound relationship, but you might want to check out that series to kind of learn a little bit more about what's happening, to see if that is maybe what's happening or maybe it's not what's happening. Also, you might want to check out this series over here about getting over your breakup, because, getting over your breakup, it's not necessarily about not getting back together. In fact, getting over your breakup is actually the first step in getting back together if you're going to do it in a healthy, responsible, and good way that's going to set you and your ex up to have a great relationship with one another. But, whether or not you're going through a breakup and you want to get back together, or whether or not you're going through a breakup and you want to move on, date other people, all that stuff, the first thing that you want to do is move on from the breakup. Get your emotions handled, get them under control, work through those emotions, go through the messy, confusing, heartbreaking, crazy ride of those emotions and get them handled, so that whether you get back together, whether you date someone else, whether you have another relationship with someone else, you're doing it in a responsible way, and you're not doing something like getting into a rebound relationship, getting into some sort of train wreck marriage where you get engaged 2 weeks after your breakup or anything like that. Make sure that you do that. Make sure that you do that, because whether or not somebody seems like they're moving on, it's not just a matter of doing the things that somebody who has moved on would do in order to move on. It's not just a matter of dating someone. It's not just a matter of putting up a dating profile. It's not just a matter of, going to singles bars or anything like that. It's a matter of actually responsibly handling your emotions. You have to responsibly handle your emotions in order to create a new future that's not just an echo of the past, that's not just a reaction to the past, that's not just a rebound relationship, that's not filled with displacement, that's not filled with all sorts of emotional baggage, that's not filled with all sorts of arguments and all that stuff. I mean, do you want to know why rebound relationships have such a poor track record? It's because the people in them haven't moved on. It's because the people that are getting into these relationships are still hung up on their ex. They're still dealing with all of the emotional complexities of their breakup and all of the emotional feelings, and they're just trying to paper it over with a new relationship. It doesn't work. It's not a healthy dynamic to be in. So no matter whether you're going to get back together with your ex or whether you're going to date someone else, no matter what the future holds for you after your breakup, the most important thing for you to do is to move on emotionally so that you can create something that makes sense for you and makes sense for what you want in your life. That is what you want to do after a breakup. Anyway, once again, this is Clay. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what we're doing, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button or subscribe to this channel if you are new here. Also, you may want to check out this series I put together on rebound relationships, or you may want to check out this video over here. But thank you so much for watching this video. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.